Guys, gals, check this out. My buddy Steve over at Get Your Fish On, he and I are doing a tackle exchange, a tackle swap. And check out, this is the outside of the box he sent me, mystery box for Mr. Bass. This dude's like a graphics genius. And this box he made, you're not going to believe what's inside this thing. It's crazy. So just to kind of refresh, I did one of these exchanges with Burley Fishing. Had a ton of fun doing it. Go check out my video and Burley's video of our tackle exchange. We did a tackle warehouse tackle exchange. Go check that out. It was a ton of fun. Then I reached out to Steve over at Get Your Fish On. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's been in the industry for years. He really knows his stuff. He knows about fishing tackle. He's got tons of connections in the fishing industry. And I said, hey, do you want to do a tackle warehouse exchange like I did with Burley Fishing? And he said, I'd love to, but I'd like to use my own tackle. He said, I got all kinds of sources where I can get tackle at wholesale. In other words, I can get it at cost. And I said, well, if you're going to do that, then I'll just take a bunch of my new lures out of my tackle cave, my boat cave, my tackle wall, and I'll put together $50 worth of lures and send them to you that way. So I went through and hand selected piece by piece all the lures that I thought he might like, that I thought were special, that I thought would appeal to him, and I tallied it up. $54 is what my cost was on all those lures. So if you go, check this out. Go compare what I sent him. There's maybe 7 lures, something like that. And then compare it to what he sent me. He sent me a ton more. Why? Because he got it at cost. And you're going to be kind of surprised, I think, at how much $50 worth of wholesale lures are. It's off the charts crazy. So check this out. I told you that he is a graphics master. Here is the same photo that he put on the outside of the box, but he's basically created a flyer for me. And check it out. It's like you get in the mystery tackle boxes and stuff. It tells every lure he gave me. There's an explanation about every lure and the retail price. And when you add all this stuff up, if we were to buy this stuff at retail price, I got a $125 box here. $125 compared to my $54. So there's huge markup on fishing tackle. That's the point here. But let me just read one of these to you so that you can kind of see here. The Spool Tech Fatty Curly. Check out that on the first one here. I mean, look, he's got all the details on all these. This is an amazing lure and one many people do not know about. This lure has a concealed leader material, meaning when a predator fish bites this lure, the hook stays in the fish's mouth and the 200-pound braid releases. This allows the hook to not be spit as much and you have better leverage. In Florida, this is a snook killer. Retail price, $22. $22. So let's take a look at the Spool Tech. Here it is. The Spool Tech Fatty Curly. Check it out. It's a pretty cool looking lure. I have never fished one of these. So I'm pretty pumped about it. Pretty excited to give this $22 retail reel a chance. Man, that's going to be something. My stuff's not going to compare, unfortunately, but hey, it is what it is, right? Be sure you go over to his channel, get your fish on, and watch his unboxing of my lures. I think you're really going to like it. Okay, the next thing he had is the ZMan Jackhammer Stealth Blade. Now, you guys know I love chatterbait fishing, and you know I love my jackhammers. I absolutely do. And I have never fished the Stealth Blade. I never have tried it. And I was talking to him the other day on the phone, and he was telling me, dude, the first time I got a prototype of this, because he's got connections with ZMan, he said the first time I got a prototype with this, I went and fished it, and it just slayed them. And this is a fish killer. So I'm super excited to try out this black and blue half-ounce Stealth Blade. And of course, the retail price for this thing, you guys all know, $16, $15.99. So like every good angler, Steve didn't just give me a bladed jig, a jackhammer. He gave me a trailer too. And this is the Smash Tech BladeAid. It's a hand-poured custom trailer. And this color is Shad color. See if you can see it a little closer. This is $6.49 retail. Let me read to you what he said about this. This is the best bladed jig trailer in my opinion. I was introduced to Smash Tech a couple of years ago. They are a small custom hand-poured bait that brings your jackhammer added attraction. The BladeAid is also very tough to get at times during the year, and this is the only bait I paid retail price for. So he actually paid $6.49 for this one. All the rest he paid wholesale for. Let's take one out of the package and just look at it, because this is what's cool. He is a Florida fisherman, and he really focuses on Florida fishing way more than I do. And so I'm really excited to see how these baits are going to work in my part of the world. And dude, check this thing out. That is going to be, I can already tell that's going to be sick. I am really looking forward to that. Smash Tech custom baits. Nice. Okay, tonight, as part of this series, as part of this tackle swap that Get Your Fish On and I are doing, we're also going to ask a couple of questions, share with you a little information about each other. And the first question that we're both going to answer is, what is your favorite type of fishing? And it's funny because I get this question often on my live streams. And what's my answer? Jan can tell you what my answer is. My answer is always, it depends. My favorite technique or my favorite type of fishing is the fishing that works, the fishing that bites. If I'm fishing for bass, bass is my fish of choice. It's the one I'm chasing. It's the one I'm trying to... I've spent all my time fishing bass. I absolutely love bass fishing. I am Mr. Bass. So absolutely that's my favorite type of fishing. But I have just as much fun when I'm crappie fishing. I have just as much fun when I'm fishing for a bluegill or trout, fly fishing, or up in Canada chasing big muskie and pike. Absolutely, that is an incredible experience. Salmon fishing in Alaska, I've done that. I have not done saltwater offshore fishing, and probably if I did that, I might totally change. But as far as my favorite fishing goes, it's got to be bass fishing. My favorite technique really just greatly depends on what's going on at the time. My favorite time of year to fish has got to be the springtime. I love the pre-spawn. I love the spawn. Those are my two favorite times. It'll be interesting to see what Steve's favorite type of fishing is. Next is a Duo Realis Swimbait. This is called the Boostar Wake. This is a 3.5 inch little swim bait. This color is called Suka Panon, which is kind of like a blood red color. I really like the color quite a bit. He says this is one of the first lures that he puts on a hook when the fishing gets really, really tough. So that's going to be fun to try out. And that is $7.49 retail. Now this one kind of threw me off because I'm a big frog fisherman. You guys know I love throwing a frog. My favorite frog is that scum launch frog. But I kind of stop at a certain size. And this Molix frog that he sent to me, it's called the Sneaky Frog. This thing is giant. This is brown frog color. And what he says about this is small frogs are tough to get great action from. The Sneaky Frog is not. in that category. Arguably, this is the best small frog he's ever used. He calls that small. To me, that's giant. It walks back and forth effortlessly, so it's a great walk the dog frog, which is super. The hooks look great in it. And predator fish love crushing it. Also, the sneaky frog has great hooks, and I have found that you do not need to wait to set the hook like most other frogs. $12.99 for that. It's a good looking color pattern. Molex frogs. Check out what came in the box next. This is a Thunderhawk lure. It's called the ChaCha Glide 5. It's a glide bait. You guys know I love glide baits. I mean, this thing looks really kind of shaped a lot like the 6 cent Speed Glide, doesn't it? This is called Double Take color here. And he says this is just a fantastic glide bait. Its price is $15.99. And this is really an inexpensive glide bait compared to a lot of them out there. Check it out. Double Take is the color. It's almost translucent. It's got big beefy hooks on them. You can tell these are like premium hooks. And really looks great, doesn't it? And there's even a little bit of subtle chartreuse on the end of the tail, and you can see there is a very subtle chartreuse line. There's also a blue line that goes above the chartreuse. In fact, that's what it is. That's what was throwing me off. On this side, there's a blue lateral line. On this side, there's a chartreuse lateral line. Wow, that's different. And I believe it's a silent glide bait. Pretty silent. Sounds like there might be some sort of a weight transfer knocker in there. But a suspending glide bait. The ChaCha Glide. Dude, I'm having a good time opening this up. In addition to that, he gave me some treble hooks. Daiichi, the world's sharpest hooks. $2.99 retail value, 4/0 red trebles. All right, now we've got a true walking bait. This is made by Shimano, and it's called the Colt Sniper. It's 110 millimeters. You can hear it. It's got quite a knocker in it. A lot of shine and glitter off this. This color is pink silver. Check out the. Let's just break it open. We gotta take it open and see the real deal, don't we? Check this out. Pink back, super shiny. This is the high pitch version. They have a silent version and then a loud version for dirtier water. You can definitely hear that. One of the things that he said about this is he says a lot of people do not know or don't realize that Shimano makes some great baits, and that this is a super high quality lure that Shimano makes. And I gotta say, I'm excited about topwater fishing. I love my topwater fishing. This is 3/4 of an ounce. It's called the Colt Sniper Walk 110F high pitch. And like I said, it's pink silver. The second question that we're going to share is, how did we get our start in fishing? So how did I get my start in fishing? I explained this in the Burley podcast that I was on just the other day. And I am not the guy that was born with a fishing rod in my hand. I love these guys. God love them that, they were born with a fishing rod in their hand. They say they were fishing from the time they could walk. They were fishing. And fantastic. That's great. I envy you guys because you had so many years to get ahead and to learn about techniques. Did I fish as a kid? Yes. When I was about 9 or 10 years old, we moved to the country. We moved to a farm, and we fished ponds frequently. We'd fish with mep spinners and rooster tails and worms night crawlers, but I was not obsessed with fishing, probably for a lot of reasons. One is we didn't have really decent equipment at all, and we couldn't afford really fishing lures, you know, worm fishing, and I loved fishing with worms. But when I was on the farm, there was always other things going on, you know, motorcycle riding, horseback riding, creek walking, you know, not to mention chore after chore after chore, plus school things. So I didn't really become a fanatic about fishing until I was a grown man. Once my kids started getting a little older and I was able to start getting out of the house a little bit, I started really getting into fishing. And the last 15 to 20 years or so, I've just been immersed in it, buried in it. And it's become my passion and my obsession, and I absolutely love it. I love being addicted to fishing. There's nothing more enjoyable in my mind, and it's incredibly rewarding, and it's incredibly challenging. So that's how I got my start in fishing. It's kind of a long, slow process, but I was not one of these guys born with a fishing rod in my hand. Sorry, that wasn't me. Next, the Grande Bass Salty Stick. I call it Grande Bass. I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but I do have some Grande lures, and I think their soft plastic baits are great. Designed and made in Texas. I think they kind of get overlooked by a lot of people. And of course, you can never go wrong with a Senko style bait, a stick worm, and these Grande Bass Salty Sticks are pretty much that. They're a Senko style worm. This is black and blue. It's a little longer than a Senko. Senkos are 5 inches long. This is 5 1/4 inches long. But this kind of has a little, kind of goes in here, and then you have a little bit of a bulbous tail. And that's different than your normal Senko. $5.99 for the Grande Bass Salty Stick. Let's face it, you can't go wrong with a stick worm. And then he happens to include one of my very favorite, all-time favorite swim baits, the Gambler Easy Swimmer. I usually throw the Big Easy, but dude, these are very, very similar, and they are great, great swim baits. $4.29 for this pack here. He says that Gambler makes some of the best products on the market, and I agree with him. He also says, in my opinion, there's not an easier bait to use than the Easy Swimmer, and I do not doubt it at all, because the Big Easy is also super easy to fish. You got to try these. If you've not tried them, man, you will have a heyday when they're on swim baits. This is a very nice color. Did I tell you the color? This color is Gold Rush. Gold Rush. Great swim bait. Now check this out. Hyperlastics Dart Prop. Somebody else sent me one of these. I think it was Jackson Bettis sent me one of these. If you go look at my unboxing. And I got to admit, I feel a little dumb that I've not heard of these, because this was voted, as he says here, winner of last year's Best of Show at the 2020 iCast for soft plastics. I probably should have known about the Dart Prop. This is Patrick Seville has done it again, he says. It's an awesome bait. It's made of soft, tough material. And just 2 lures like this, he said, will last you for hundreds of strikes. Pretty exciting! Okay, then he gives another Patrick Seville credited lure. This is called the Engaged Twit Shad. The Engaged Twit Shad. And he says this is Patrick Seville's 2.0 version of the Stick Shad, which made him famous. The Twit Shad is built to cast far, catch fish, and be long-lasting. In 2018-19, this lure caught more snook and tarpon for me than any other bait I've used, and bass will crush it too. How about that, guys? If you've never seen the Twit Shad, you might want to check it out. This is a really nice color too. It's a floating lure. It's 3.5 inches long. It looks great. I don't know what they call this color. I can't find it on the package. So that is everything that he sent me that's in his amazing flyer. And he said, he gave me a little note on the back, and I'll just share it with you. Mr. Bass, thanks for this opportunity. I think my wholesale price was about $51 for all this. $51 versus $125 retail. Imagine if you were able to purchase tens of thousands of dollars of product at a company's cost. Wouldn't that be amazing? So that was really, really fun. I really enjoyed him sharing that. And then he threw a bonus lure in. The Deep Diving KVD Jerkbait. And this really wasn't even considered part of the $51 worth of stuff. This is just an extra smoky chrome blue jerkbait. And you guys know KVD swears by these things. He's won tons of money on these KVD jerkbaits. And I love jerkbait fishing too. So thank you so much, Steve Chapman from Get Your Fish On. Go check out his channel. Go subscribe to his channel. You have got to watch his stuff. You will learn a ton. And I've got an exciting announcement to make before I wrap up. Steve and I are going to be collaborating. That's right. I know you guys watch my live streams, you faithful, loyal viewers. Thank you so much. My Spin to Win live stream will continue as usual on Saturday nights. My Wednesday night live stream is no longer going to be a Mr. Bass live stream. It's going to be a Get Your Fish On and Mr. Bass live stream. That's right. We're going to be collaborating, and we're going to be doing a weekly live stream on Wednesday nights instead of my live stream. I'll still do mine on Saturday night, so do not fear. We'll still spin to win. We'll still have a great time. But I am confident that with Steve and I together, you're going to even get better content. We're going to even have more fun together, and it's going to be exciting. So that's going to happen not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, you guys know I'm going to be out of town. I will try to share with you a live stream this Wednesday night. It'll be my last Mr. Bass live stream on Wednesday night. And the following week, it'll be Steve and I, and we'll have a great time. So please join us. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for all you do to support the channel. If you find this content enjoyable and helpful, please subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. And until next time, this is Mr. Bass. Happy fishing!